It's episode 2 of the B7 RS4. Let's take a look at what we've been up to. Plenty of updates. First things first, the sub box. So this is a dry run, okay, so it's just been trimmed. The subs aren't in it, the box isn't treated or anything like that, but we wanted to make sure everything's going to fit. It's spaced in a very particular way. The subwoofers are spaced up and down in a very particular way. But if you can see through the grills there, you can just about pick out that the box is inside there. Now, this box isn't that deep, so it's not 15 inches deep that you can see there. It's more, it's got spacing on the front, so the subwoofers can sit on the front of the box, and then the fascia can sit away from the front of the subwoofers, so the subs can throw and it doesn't hit the grill. So we've used JL grill across the front there to protect the subwoofers, so everything can still go in the boot. And this boot still looks like a very conveniently sized boot. There's still plenty of stuff that can go in there. Keen-eyed amongst you will notice that there is a swage along the top of the sub box. That's handmade, hand trimmed. If I can zoom in, it should show you that this is a cushioned, scrimmed vinyl top that corresponds with the divide between the carpet and the plastic tops in the car. Alright, we've gone with a slightly lighter grey, which matches the car. When you see it as a whole, the whole thing lines up. Getting that factory grey from Audi is a complete nightmare. And the only other way to do it would be to trim the entire boot like we did in the B5 RS4, which I'll link to below. But this job isn't about that, so we're not going to be trimming everything in the car. Not at this stage anyway. This might seem like a large stage 1, but it is. Farley's a particular customer. His stage 1s are quite full on, but this is very much a stage 1 for him. It's a little bit tricky to see, but the back of the sub box, of course, it isn't finished with. It's all got to be painted and the terminals got to be put on, but there's metal plates there that sandwich between the seat backs and the actual structure of the car. So when the seats are up, it locks the subwoofer box into place. So that's the subwoofer box. Now onto the front end. Now, if you remember in episode 1, I told you we were fitting Miele Legends. I told you we were fitting Bit 10D with a 51K with full DA. That's all changed since, okay? So we're still having a 51K and a Quattro, but it's analog, and we're going to be using a Bit 1 HD, and we've changed the front end to Thesis. We've still got the Miele Legend 7-inch mid-bass in the doors, but yeah, we've switched the front speaker out for a twin pillar Audison Thesis set. I can't wait to hear this. It's such a great front end. The glass mount DAB aerial is going to go. We fitted it as part of the head unit. Varley doesn't like it. He wants it integrated in the car. That's fine. I understand that. It is a part of our standard fit. So yeah, which of course is attached to the Sony 5650. Again, this is a dry fit. So we will bring this. One of our pet peeves is units that don't sit flush. This sits flush at the bottom, and then it sits dipped in at the top. That's how it comes out of the box for us. So that's how it will go in as a dry fit. We will then take it all back out, we'll modify and we'll gap all of the areas that we need to gap. And these are the little things that kind of make us who we are. It's what keeps us at the top of that tree, so that we can, you know, all those little details, all the little things that make things perfect, you know. Beady-eyed amongst you may have spotted in this center console there's a FIO DAP. All right, this is not fitted. This is just placed. We had Chris over last night to give us the final locations for things. All right, we're using this DRC as a mock-up, and sorry, we've got a DRC as a mock-up in there as well, DRC MP, which is what it'll end up being. The DRC will be on the bottom down there. Slightly trickier to get hold of, but it's the lesser of the evils. So this DAP unit here, we're going to try and replicate this, 3D print a mount that is a negative for the bottom of this, so we can have a fiber cable that goes into this unit, so he can just pop this lid up, slide the DAP into place and sit it there. Then he can control his system full high res, just straight into the bit one, the Virtuoso, the DSP that's going in here. The Sony 5650 will do an incredible job of playing to that DSP and playing into the system. It's a great sounding deck, but just when he wants that last few percent with a system like this to stretch its legs, then yeah, that DAP will really give him that, you know, that real sort of ultra clean sound. So yeah, they are the updates and progress of where we're in now. We've trimmed these in a, they're in like an OEM style fabric, like a roof lining fabric. They are black, so there's a slight colour overlap. For the years that, you know, I've been doing this, I've never been able to find a reliable supplier for OEM coloured texture fabrics, like roof lining fabrics. So if any of you know, if you can drop me something in the description, it'd be great. Because we're always looking for that, you know, that last couple of percent. So yeah. Other things in here, of course, all the interiors back in, everything's bolted back in. We've now got to take the boot floor up and change the amplifiers and the DSP, just because there's been a change of plan, you know. So yeah, it's a bit more full on now than it was, so it'll be with us for a little bit longer. The next video, I'm hoping, will be a completion video. So this series should only be 3 parts long. And whilst this actually looks very much complete, we're about 70% the way there. We've done no setup, there's no initial tuning or anything like that. We haven't had any sound yet. So yeah, we've just got a handful of things to do before we get there, and then away we go. And I'll try and play you some music and try and not get a copyright strike, so all around the world you'll be able to hear it. Alright, anyway, this is the B7 RS4. These are its new bits. And you've seen its sub box. I'm Carl, and this is Studio Incar. Take it easy.